Hello, my friends. For this reading, I am starting out with the question of who is this reading for, so we can find out right away whether or not you should bother watching this. First of all, we have the Ace of Wands in reverse and the Wheel of Fortune in reverse. So, Ace of Wands is usually about inspiration, creativity, passion, potential, and it looks like you are not feeling it. You may be lacking confidence. You certainly don't have much belief in yourself. You may also be afraid of any changes that may come if you act on an inspiration that you do have. So follow through is what is the issue here. Walk your talk. All right. So the thing to remember about the Wheel of Fortune is that it is always spinning, always moving, right? So it can be that you feel like you're having good luck, or perhaps right now you are feeling like if you didn't have bad luck, you wouldn't have any luck at all, right? So not a good feeling, but again, the wheel is always turning, so it's not going to stay this way. And okay, you've been working alone. But have you really succeeded in honing your skills? I think this is more an issue of you not believing that you have made any real progress in spite of your efforts to keep working alone. But there is an implication with these first two cards that you've been over-controlling. You've been trying to just hold on to like tightly and make things go the way you think they should go, rather than allowing them to flow and go the way they would go. I'm having trouble finding the words. So if you let things flow, you usually get much better results than if you try to really control a situation. I understand that feeling like you're in control can feel much safer, but control is an illusion, and that's something that we humans tend to forget a lot. And all right, then at the bottom here we have the King of Jars or Cups and the Chariot. In this deck it's called the Barrow. But my question is, are you the King of Cups? So you have this King of Cups wanting progress, but this has been all about you wanting progress. So perhaps the King of Cups is where you are at right now. The King of Cups is not terribly comfortable with emotions. Good at controlling them, which goes along with this control theme in this reading so far. Yeah, so the King of Cups can be not out of touch with their emotions, but uncomfortable with expressing deeper emotions. They can be good at more superficial situations and expressing compassion and empathy socially in less intimate connections. So, to the world at large, they will appear to be very warm and caring and in touch with their emotions, but they may have difficulty in an intimate relationship being honest and open about their emotions, expressing those emotions in a deeply caring kind of way, in a way that leaves them feeling vulnerable. So I guess that's what I'm trying to say. This is someone who is having trouble with vulnerability as well as control. And it looks like that's who you are. But you want to make progress, rapid progress. That is your desire, and perhaps that is what's coming for you. What should we know about this barrow, the chariot? Is progress coming? And what kind? What will this progress look like? Or what kind of progress are you hoping for? It looks like you've been doing a lot of work. Towards a specific goal. Perhaps that's the question. What is this goal that you have in mind that you want to make progress towards? King of Pentacles. So you want financial progress, material progress. What else? Perhaps you want to conquer some Knight of Swords tendencies. This is the Knight of Swords in reverse. So reactive, harsh, quick-tempered. And the Queen of Cups. All right, and the Fool's Leap. So, you see yourself as the King of Cups, or you would like to be the King of Cups to the Queen of Cups. But you feel like you have to become the King of Pentacles first to be able to provide, to protect, to be a good husband, a good father. Again, if you're female, we all have masculine and feminine aspects to our personalities, and we need to develop those regardless of your gender. So, ideally, we would all have the aspects of a good husband and a good father, just as we would all have the aspects of a good mother and a good wife within us. Okay. There's this Fool's Leap. With all this control that I see going on here, I don't see you making a Fool's Leap. So a Fool's Leap, you have to let go of control and have faith, trust in the divine, even as you go ahead and leap into the unknown. But as we can see, you are imprisoned by your own beliefs. I say your own beliefs, but it may be that, you're imprisoned by societal norms. But societal norms can be broken. They've been broken many, many times. And they will continue to be broken because they're not really based on reality. And they can be very, very toxic. Okay. So it seems you have a desire for a Two of Cups, a union. All right. Fair enough. Let's see what we get for the Oracle has to say. Oracle cards. So this is your goal, this union with this Queen of Cups. But you are feeling confined by your own control issues, by societal norms. So there's probably a big difference between the two of you, in addition to your own internal issues with control and developing into the King of Pentacles, whatever that it would entail for you. So, is there a message or a focus for you? What does the universe have to say about your situation? The divine spirit, whichever term you care to use. Nothing coming out so far. Oh, here we go. It's only when I lose control of the cards that I get a message. Building blocks. All right. Number 28, if that has meaning for you. Building blocks. Essential meanings. Strong foundations. A beautiful work in progress. Well, perhaps you're making more progress than you think. You have everything you need to cultivate an extraordinary life. This is a time when your focus needs to be on the foundations you build upon. Your work, your relationships, and your very being are underwritten by your values, ethics, morals, and core beliefs. Are they still true for you? Will they stand the test of time and serve as a solid grounding upon which you construct your life? Now you are making changes that will affect everything in a positive way. Your destiny is truly a remarkable and beautiful design. All right, so whatever changes are taking place within you, you do seem to be headed in the right direction. Let's see where the universe, how the universe sees you, how the divine sees you. And I'm using the animal, wild unknown animal cards for this. Animal spirit, sorry. Where are you now? From the universe's perspective. Not what you think, but how the divine sees you. Turtle. All right. Turtle's not a bad one. Ancient soul, grounded, trusting, at home in the self. It is wonderful to be in the presence of a turtle personality. Like the beaver, the turtle has a strong relationship with the earth and water elements simultaneously. This helps to ground and connect them to the deeper truths of life, no matter where their travels lead them. Turtle energy is behind all great writers and storytellers as they collect life experiences under their shells for later use. The most potent turtle energy helps us close all the other books and begin to tell our own true tale. When in balance, peaceful, adventurous, and productive. When out of balance, slows down to a halt. To bring into balance, an adventure. So are you balanced or unbalanced? That is your question. I am not getting trusting from you, but perhaps that is your next step, to be trusting and at home in yourself. I'm trying to think what to get you next. So we know that you have a tendency to be controlling instead of trusting. I think we'll look at the Jungian Tarot. Remember, this tarot is very, very different. Technically, there's all the same cards, they have all the same names, but the meanings are not the same. So, what is some advice from the Jungian Tarot? Anything else? So if this were standard tarot, I would say that you have some self-sabotaging habits to look into, and you need to heed the call of the divine to be reborn. But I would say also to the spiritual side of life. I suspect you've been neglecting that. I'm honestly getting the sense that this is a reading for a masculine. That does not refer to gender. Just somebody who lives more from the masculine side, masculine aspects of their personality. And finally, this looks like the Page of Pentacles. It's probably the Knight, or the equivalent. Okay, let's see what the Jungian Tarot has to say. Judgment, Pisces, archetype of rebirth. Isolated introspection, struggle facing opposites. Judgment is a moody and murky lower level of justice. Occultism and psychism. Development of the ability to perceive forces behind appearance. The danger of spiritual pride. That's interesting. Do you engage in spiritual materialism? Perhaps you think you are more spiritual than you are, or you're hanging on to the trappings of spirituality instead of going deeper into the reality of it, which is humility is a big part of it, but also recognition that a lot of the things that people say, oh, I'm spiritual, this, that, and the other thing, are not meaningful and are in fact the opposite of being spiritual, clinging on to the symbols of spirituality. All right, well, that's for you to answer. 5 of Swords, rash decision. Unconsidered action, decision made without hesitation, feeling more important than thought. Powerful sexual involvement, intense love, hasty marriage, partnership formed hurriedly, contract hastily drawn. Things may or may not work out. At worst, broken contracts, death of partner or friend. Wow. The worst is pretty bad. And so there's definitely impulsivity. Let's see what this Pentacles person. Prince of Pentacles. The self-assured son. Thoughtful, self-assured, achieves success through force of personality. Popular and well-liked. A good companion, pragmatic, most comfortable with science, but drawn to the occult. Inner conflict about what to believe, maybe arrogant and demanding, tending to alienate. I'm getting that this is you, honestly. So you definitely have your good qualities, but you also have your negative qualities. And you do have a strong pull towards psychic phenomenon, perhaps, and science, being very pragmatic and a bit charming, I think, if I'm reading that correctly. But I'm not seeing that the emotional side of you is well developed. There are no indications here that you are particularly in touch with your emotions or able to express them. So I'm going to get you a Healing Heart Oracle card. Which will probably feel really weird to you, but bear with me. All right, Longing Heart, number 32, if that has any meaning for you. Longing heart, value what you have, and more will appear. Dear heart, I know you are tired of waiting, longing, and pushing for things to happen. There is so much confusion flowing inside you. You know that things occur in divine timing, but you are wondering whether your most earnest desires are real, or are they just fantasy? The truth is they are a bit of both. There are parts of you that are stuck in the past, where you dreamt of being loved in a perfect way. However, you are being called to let go of your old illusions and be willing to allow yourself to grow and mature. Connect within and reflect on what you now have the confidence to explore, knowing that life and love come with ups and downs. No matter what age you are, there is a great opportunity to learn, evolve, and value what you already have. Profound love is on your doorstep. Are you willing to let it in? All right, the heart healing exercise. Record in your journal what your deepest heart's desires are in love, your career, and general life. Read over them and ask yourself whether they are your present dreams or whether they are connected to the younger you or even your family. If those wishes were from your earlier years or your family, explore how much fantasy or pain they contain. Rewrite those desires from a wiser, more mature you. Then explore what percentage of your real dreams have already come true, or where you are halfway towards your goals. From the space of valuing what you have already experienced, with all your deepest feelings, visualize receiving your more developed desire into your heart. Well, that's a concrete exercise anyway. And it sounds like it might be very helpful for you. I wish you all the best.